back to my channel. So today we're sitting down and we're going to talk about a group of products that I had on my wish list for well over a year. I finally obtained them in one way or another. I will get into that and my thoughts on them. They were on my wish list forever. Finally tried them. Are they worth it? Do I like them after lusting over them for so long or not? Before we get started, don't forget to upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday for you guys. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to hear about some wish list items that I finally tried and my thoughts on them, then let's go ahead and get started. So contrary to how the lighting is looking right now, no, I am not filming at midnight. I feel like my lighting is super wonky right now, but it is so gray outside. Like, I have both my windows as open as they can be, and it's providing like zero light. So I am really relying on my two ring lights and then this side light here, but it's like, I don't know guys, I'm sorry if the lighting is wonky, please just bear with me. We are getting into fall and then winter. My lighting might be like this for a couple months because the weather likes to be gray and awful here in Ohio around this time of year. So like I said, these are products that I'm not kidding you, I lusted over them for at least a year. I wanted them for so long, whether it be they were like super hyped up or people were just loving it, or it was just like around for a really long time. You know what I mean? Like, you know how things are just like constantly bombarded at you and you're like, okay, fine, I want it. That is these products. So I wanted them so long, I finally got them. So what are my thoughts on them? Is it worth it? Am I happy that I finally tried it after just lusting over it for so long? That's what I'm here to tell you. So the first thing is not available anymore and I'm so sorry, but I'm hoping it will like come back, and it's the Marc Jacobs O'Mega bronzer, and I have the shade Fantastic, which is the lightest one. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with Marc Jacobs right now. I thought it was going away forever. A lot of us thought it was being discontinued, but I don't think it is. So that's awesome. So maybe whenever they like rebrand and come back, they'll bring this bronzer back, and I sure hope so, because listen, I wanted this baby forever, like years. Okay, well, I mean, that's the whole point of this video. I probably shouldn't say that with every product, but I just wanted this for so long. But it's a $49 bronzer. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I finally splurged and bought it during the Sephora sale, so I did get 20% off. You will notice that a lot of these products I got on sale. I love makeup, and I love trying new makeup, but your girl doesn't like to pay full price for things. So you'll notice that I feel like almost every single one of these products I got on sale. But anyways, I love this bronzer. I'm so glad I finally bit the bullet and decided to try it, even though it is pricey. It is a stunning bronzer. I don't want to talk about it too long because like I said, it's not available anymore, but it is the bronzer that I have on my face today. It's just the most perfect neutral undertone that just blends in so nicely and never gets patchy and never gets overdone. I can apply a ton of it and it never like looks bad. I'm so glad that I decided to splurge and buy this and I have it in my collection, especially now that it's gone, because it is a wonderful bronzer. Next up, we have an eyeshadow palette, and it's like the first of like 6 eyeshadow palettes I'm going to talk about. Not gonna lie, this is a very palette heavy video, but it is the Natasha Denona Love palette. I've talked about this many times, so I'm not going to harp on it too long. However, this palette was okay. It was on my wish list, and then it wasn't, and then it was, and then it wasn't, and then it was, and then it wasn't. I kept going back and forth because I kept hearing like mixed reviews about it. When it first came out, people were loving it, and I was like, yes, that's beautiful, I love it. And then I heard some mixed reviews that people didn't like it, and it wasn't up to par with Natasha Denona's like usual palette quality. And then I was like, okay, maybe I don't want it. And then so many people put this in their like top palettes that they tried in 2020. This is an older palette at like their ranking videos at the end of last year, and I was like, oh, well, I want it again. So then Beautylish had it 30% off. It ended up going 50% off at Sephora, but it was like months and months later. So I'm not too upset about it that I didn't get it 50% off and I only got 30%, but I got 30%. And this baby is $65. So I was pumped to get 30% off. If you are not new to my channel, you know my love for the Love palette. You know that this is such a good palette in my eyes. I have done a 1 week 1 palette on it, so I made 5 different looks. I can have that linked in the eye down below in case you missed it. It was a while ago, but this is just such a stunning palette. If you like these types of tones like pinks, reds, purples, you know, you'll love this palette. Like, it is good quality in my opinion. I mean, some of the darker mattes get slightly patchy on me, but dark mattes are hard to formulate in general. These shimmers are poppy and punchy. So good. I love this palette, and I'm so glad that after wanting it for so long, I finally picked it up. Okay, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I wanted this forever. And you know why I wanted this forever? Because everyone hypes it up and everyone says it's the best foundation ever, that it's full coverage, that it's matte but not drying, that it lasts all day, it covers up everything, blah, blah, blah. I Okay, I did get this on sale. I don't remember where or how much, but I know I did not pay full price for this, which I'm happy about. I don't understand the hype. I don't understand the hype. I do not think it's full coverage at all. I mean, it covers, like, don't get me wrong, it's not like a light coverage foundation, but when I applied this, I was expecting it to just be like, and just cover up everything. This doesn't do that for me. I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't do that for me. And it is a little bit drying, contrary to what everyone says, at least on my skin. And I really just don't think it looks that good. So, did I want this forever? Yes. I finally picked it up. And I don't know, man. I feel like I'm definitely going to declutter this soon. I never reach for it. I do think I want to use it one more time before I decide to actually like declutter and get rid of it and give it to a friend. However, from what I'm remembering using it, I just don't think it's that great. We're back to another eyeshadow palette. This is a palette that obviously was on my wish list for a long time. That's the point of this video, right? However, I was really smart about this palette. Like I feel like a lot of times I do just kind of like impulse buy things. And I want it, so I buy it. You know what I mean? And this palette, I really thought long and hard. I kept looking at pictures. I kept looking at looks with it, videos of it. And I was like, you know what? Yes, after a while, after wanting it for a while, I really decided, yeah, I do want this palette. I think I would enjoy it. So I bought it. Colourpop Sweet Talk palette. Since I bought this like a year and a half ago, I am not kidding you, I have probably used it 5 times. So I wanted it forever, finally picked it up, and now I never use it. Okay, the color storm is beautiful. However, a lot of these shades end up looking the exact same on my eyes, no matter how I apply them, where I apply them, what I apply them with, they just look the same. Like all of these mattes right here, I mean, they all look pretty different in the pan, but I'm not kidding you. They end up looking the same on my eyes. There is 2 pressed glitters that I'm just not interested in. I never use pressed glitters on my eyes. They irritate my eyes. And then there is this pretty Super Shock. I do like that, but if I'm gonna reach for like a nice Super Shock topper like this, I'm gonna reach into Diamonds from So Jaded or something like that. Like I never use this palette. So this is my, I was gonna say, how can I like make this a lesson? Because like I wanted this palette forever and I really thought long and hard before I actually picked it up. And then I never use it. So it's like, what are you supposed to do? Sometimes you impulse buy makeup and then you don't end up using that makeup. Sometimes you think long and hard about makeup and you still don't end up using the makeup. So it's like, we can't win, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is definitely gonna get decluttered in my next eyeshadow palette declutter because I never reach for it. Next up, we have a lippy product. So this product was actually released quite a while ago. It is the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint. I have the shade Unlocked, which is a beautiful bright pink shade. I'm pretty sure these launched like right when Fenty launched. I think this was part of her original launch of her brand forever ago. What, like 3-4 years ago? So since then, they've been on my wish list to try. People say they're a really great liquid lipstick, that they last a long time, but they're not drying. And she has a lot of really pretty, unique colors. I've heard the red one in this is like one of the most beautiful red liquid lipsticks you could try. So I finally got a chance to try this when this was sent to me in an Ipsy bag. You guys, I feel like all the hype about this is real. I've only gotten the chance to use this shade like 1 or 2 times because it is like such a bright, bold pink. Like this is not going to be a shade I'm gonna use very often. However, the couple of times I did use it, it is beautiful. Like Stunna lip paint. Is that like code for stunning lip paint? Because I'm not kidding you. This goes on so opaquely, so you don't have to, I don't think opaquely is the word, so opaque. So you don't have to like really layer it up so it doesn't get like thick and bunchy and crunchy. And it does dry down to a matte finish, but it's not drying on the lips at all. It just stays nicely all day long. It does eventually come off in like the inner rim of your mouth as you're eating and talking and drinking throughout the day, but nothing terrible. And the best part about this is it's not drying. That is a thing. I'm not going to do a swatch because if I do, I'm not kidding you, it'll be stuck on my hand. Okay, I'll do one. So that is the shade. It is like a really beautiful hot pink shade. I'm going to wipe this off like right now so it doesn't stain my hand. Cool. That's okay. It is a really beautiful shade though. But anyways, the formula is super comfortable, matte, not drying, stays all day. These are lovely. Like I definitely want more shades. Next up, we're back to another foundation. I have recently spoken about this foundation quite a few times on my channel, so I'm going to breeze past this, but I ended up returning it to Sephora. It is the Nars Radiant Longwear Foundation. I'll pop up a picture here. I wanted this forever, like at least 2 years, okay? Finally picked it up during their most recent foundation sale from Sephora. Got it for 20% off. Hyped to try it. Pumped. I was so excited, and then it was awful. It was awful on my face. I'm not kidding you. I tried it with multiple different primers, multiple different powders, multiple different setting sprays, Every single time I tried it, it looked awful on my face. It was super cakey and emphasized all of my dryness, even dryness that I didn't even know your girl had, okay? That's how drying it was on me. But then by the end of the day, it was super oily. It was awful on me. And I was so excited to try that foundation, and it was such a bummer and such a letdown that I returned it to Sephora and got my $40 back, because it's a pricey foundation. It's originally $49, but I got it on sale, like I said. But still, $40, I can't keep a $40 foundation. That looks terrible on me. I just can't do it. So bummed. That looked awful. We're back to another palette. There's 2 more after this. So like I said, this is a really palette heavy video. The next one is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. You guys, this was on my wish list for so stinking long, and my husband surprised me and bought this for me. I still am perplexed by that situation because he has never bought me makeup before this. He bought me this like a year and a half ago, and he hasn't bought me makeup since. Like, this was just like a one random situation where he bought me makeup. I mean, I'm not complaining because this palette is gorgeous, but like, can he do it again? So this is what the inside of the Mercury Retrograde palette looks like, you guys. She's beautiful. The mattes, stunning. The shimmers, stunning. This palette is gorgeous. I was so excited when he surprised me and bought this for me because she's expensive. She's like $67, which is obviously a really hefty price tag for a palette. However, I think it's worth it. I really, truly do. This palette, I don't use it as much as I should because I have so many eyeshadows, like so many eyeshadow palettes, it's not even funny. It's kind of ridiculous. But whenever I do pull this palette out and use it, I'm always impressed by my looks. I always love how I look. I always feel so pretty. So yeah, if this has been on your wish list too, and you've been wanting to pick it up, highly recommend. Next up is good old Charlotte Tilbury. She's expensive. Her brand is pricey. So usually I have to lust over things for quite a while before I end up picking them up because they're expensive. And I do try, like I said, to get most things on sale. So her Bronze and Glow Duo, I wanted it for years. Everyone hyped it up. Everyone said it was a beautiful bronzer and highlight. So when she finally released her mini last year, this time last year, I believe it was, I snagged this baby up so fast. I still got it on sale though. So the original one is like $68. It is bigger than this one. However, you still get a really good amount of product in the mini. But the original is $68 and this is only $29, I believe, which I was pumped about that. And then I also, like I said, got it during the Sephora sale. So I did get 20% off, which I was even happier about. This duo is gorgeous. Now, this is not going to work on a ton of skin tones. I don't know why she didn't make the mini in more shades because the big one comes in more shades. Still not enough, but more than one. So that's like a bummer. I'm not sure why she did that, but this really is a beautiful bronzer and a beautiful highlight. It's a nice neutrally leaning cool tone bronzer that I can get away with using like all year round. And then the highlight is slightly more of a subtle highlight. Like it's not beaming. You're not going to see you from space, but that's okay. It is still very beautiful. Doesn't emphasize texture. I was so excited when she came out with this mini and I'm glad I picked it up because it's stunning. So if you have your eyes on the mini or even the full size, I mean, you still get a lot of product, like I said, in the mini, but if you wanted to splurge into the full size, like it'll probably last you forever, I definitely think it's worth it. Like these products are beautiful on the skin. Another eyeshadow palette. This is the Urban Decay Naked Honey. Okay. I lusted over this forever, right? Finally, it went on sale because Urban Decay, if you like a palette from them or even Anastasia Beverly Hills, either one of them, don't pay full price. I mean, you can if you want to. You can if you want to. But they will go on sale for like 50% off. So you do not need to pay full price. So finally, when this went on sale for 50% off, I snagged it up. Okay. Do I like this palette? Yes, I do. I think it's a beautiful palette. I think it's nice and neutral and stunning. The tones are really pretty. The shimmers are pretty. However, my only gripe about this palette is every single look I do looks exactly the same. Kind of like the Sweet Talk palette from Colourpop. These tones, they look different in the pan, but when I apply them to my eyes, they pretty much all look the same. And I get pretty much the same look every time I use this palette. The look is pretty and I usually don't struggle with it and it usually doesn't get patchy. And like I said, the shimmers are pretty impactful, but it pretty much always looks the same. So I am glad I got this for half off. I'm glad I finally did decide to pick it up after wanting it for so long, but I really don't reach for it that much, if I'm being honest. Oh, okay. It said, we're done talking, I'm closing, bye. We're back to my gal, Charlotte Tilbury, and if you have followed me for a while, you probably know what I'm going to talk about because it's a lipstick. It's a lipstick that I wanted forever. Finally decided to pick it up, Kim KW. I wanted this lipstick forever. It looks like the most beautiful, just like light peachy pink shade that would go with a ton of different looks, a bunch of different lip liners. but her lipsticks are like $34, which is pricey for a lipstick, honestly, when you can get a really nice drugstore lipstick for like $5, you know what I mean? However, every time I would look at basically anyone's lip combination and love it, it was always this lipstick. My friend Kelly from K Bella Beauty, Samantha March, Bailey Sarian, it did not matter. Multiple different girls on multiple different occasions, I would love their lip combination, and I would scroll down in their description box and I would see that they were wearing this lipstick. So I finally decided to get it back in June when my sister gave me a gift card for Sephora for my birthday. And I love it. I have not regretted picking this lipstick up one time. I don't have it on today. Sorry, I've actually got Pillow Talk on today. But it looks so good with a deep, dark lip liner, like lightening up the middle of your lips. And I love this lipstick. And the formula is so good. If you've had your eye on Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, I know they're pricey, but they're stunning and so comfortable on the lips. Alrighty, we're ending it strong with one last palette, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. I didn't realize that this was limited edition, and then ABH was like, all right, so the Sultry palette's like, no more, bye. And then I was like, oh, what? That stinks. But then they brought it out in a kit for the holidays last year, and I picked it up for half off, which I was pumped about. This palette is just, it's beautiful. I really haven't reached for it as much as I thought because, again, I just have so many eyeshadow palettes. But whenever I do reach for this, it is stunning. So unlike the Urban Decay and the Sweet Talk palette, I actually am so glad I finally picked this up after lusting over it for so stinking long. These shades are just beautiful. They're nice and neutral, and the shimmers in this palette are probably some of ABH's best shimmers. They are so impactful and just shimmery and stunning on your eyelids, but they don't emphasize texture or anything like that. And this color story is just the most perfect neutral color story. I need to reach for this way more often than I do. I know that, but whenever I do, it's just stunning. The packaging is beautiful. It's a nice, beautiful, like sparkly packaging without like getting sparkles everywhere. It doesn't like feel gross in your hands. And after wanting this for so long, I am pumped I finally have it in my collection. And that was it, you guys. That was some products that I just wanted and lusted over for a very, very long time. And I finally decided to bite the bullet and get them, whether it be through a gift or Ipsy or on sale, anything like that. And my thoughts on them, if I'm glad I finally got them after wanting them for so long, or if I kind of regret it a little bit. Let me know down below in the comments, what's something that you just wanted for so long and you finally picked it up? Is it something that you're happy you got, or like, some of these, are you kind of like regretting getting them? If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome. I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.